Hey guys, Justin here with our weekend pickups, and this was actually a pretty small weekend for us. There was not very many garage sales going on at all, and I mean it was the weekend after the 4th of July, so I'm assuming that that probably had something to do with it, but it was actually kind of a good thing because Dave was out of town all weekend. He was down in Detroit for Warped Tour, and I had to go out of town very early on Saturday morning, so neither of us would have really been around for the garage sales anyway, so we got kind of lucky in that sense. But yeah, I think it was Thursday night. It was like 2 a.m. and I checked Craigslist real quick for garage sales and came across a sale that was happening the next morning, Friday morning at 8 a.m. and it said that they were going to be selling video games. Now, I was really debating going because it was like a 15 or 20 minute drive from where I live. I was like, do I really want to get up, that early, drive all the way out there? It just says video games. It could be anything. Of course, I got up at 7:15 and I drove out there and waited around for the sale to start. And when it opened, I walked up there. And the first thing I saw was this Gameboy Advance SP carrying case here. And when I looked inside, it actually wasn't a Gameboy Advance SP. It was an original Gameboy Advance. I think this is the Glacier one, I believe. And it's in good shape. It's got the battery cover on the back there. And also in this case was a couple of accessories. One of these Mad Catz magnifying screen things. I think this is a light as well. I don't know. And then one of these weird looking squiggly lights here. And there's a couple games in here too. The first one here is Toy Story 2. And this is one of the black Game Boy cartridges, so it'll work in original Game Boy or Game Boy Color as well. And I did not have that game, so that's one to add to the collection. And then also for the Game Boy Color, Pokemon Pinball with the manual. So I had all that. That didn't have a price on it, so I figured I'd just ask how much they were looking to get for it. And then I looked over and I saw this. One of these original Game Boy Hardshell cases here. And this thing is huge. I mean, I do have one of these that looks identical to this, but the one I have is a lot smaller. I mean, this one is huge. And anyway, so I opened this up. And in it was an original Game Boy system here with the battery cover. One of these third-party AC adapters for it. Another one of these weird squiggly looking light things here. And there's a couple games in here as well. The first one is Warioland, Super Mario Land 3, which I was really happy to see because I actually just recently got rid of my copy of this game because it was the player's choice. And I know it's not as big of a deal on Game Boy games as it is like on a GameCube game or something, but I just rather have the original release of the game. So I was really happy to get an original copy of the game here. And then also in there was Bonk's Adventure, which I thought might have been worth some money when I first saw it, just because the one on the NES is worth so much. But it's not a very valuable game, but definitely one to add to the collection. And then there was some random manuals and stuff in here. Here's a manual for Warioland, and the system manuals and stuff here. Some other random paperwork. But anyway, I think the guy that was running the sale saw me looking at this, and he walked up to me and said that this Game Boy here actually it doesn't work. Well, it works, but he said the screen was all messed up. And as a matter of fact, I think the screen cover isn't even glued down anymore. But he said he was just pretty much giving this away for free, and said that I could just have this original Game Boy lot if I bought the Game Boy Advance lot. And he said he was only looking to get $5 for the Game Boy Advance lot, so obviously a great deal there. So I got both lots for $5. But that's not all that they had at the sale. They had some PlayStation games and like some CDs and stuff, and I did pick up one CD. It's Green Day, Bullet in a Bible, which was their live album, and it's pretty cool. It's got the there's the audio CD there, and then they also had the DVD of the show. And I already listened to the CD. I didn't check out the DVD yet, but it should be pretty cool. It's only marked for $1, and I do really like Green Day. Well, their old stuff anyway. I don't care much for their new music, but maybe I'll let you guys enjoy some old school Green Day in the background of this video right now. And then I grabbed a couple of PS1 games. The first one here is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And unfortunately, this one is not in very good condition. The case is really cracked up. The manual here is all waterlogged. Like, you can't even separate the pages. That's how bad it is. But I think the disc is in good shape. So, and it was only marked for like 25 cents. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and pick it up. And then I got Speed Punks, which is in a little bit better condition. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It looks like just kind of like a generic racing game, but this was only like 75 cents. So I figured I might as well get this one too. They had a couple other PS1 games there, but they were either really bad greatest hits games, or they were missing manuals and all beat up and stuff. So these are the only ones that were really worth paying anything for. So I grabbed those, and I also got a small stack of PlayStation 2 games. The first one here is Sonic Mega Collection Plus. It is the greatest hits, and this one was marked for 50 cents, and then the rest of these were marked for $1 a piece. I don't exactly know why. But I also got The Sims, the first one, and then The Sims Bustin' Out, and The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. So I had all of that stuff in my hand, you know, the Game Boy systems and the PlayStation games, the CD, and I don't know exactly what the total was, but it was like $11 or $12, and I brought it up to the guy and I said, hey, you know, I got $11 or $12 worth of stuff here, can I get it all for 10 bucks? And he said that was fine. So as I'm taking out my wallet, I asked if he had any other video game stuff, and he said that he had a couple Wii games that he hadn't brought out yet, and I said, oh, you know, I'd be interested in those if you want to grab them real quick. So he went into his house, and he brought out Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. And what was cool about this is he actually had the guide for it as well. He said he got stuck in the game and couldn't figure it out, so he had to buy the guide, and he actually never finished the game anyway. But it's cool that he had that, and then he also had Chicken Blaster, I believe. Yeah, it must be Chicken Blaster. It looks pretty bad, to tell you the truth. It's one of those cheesy games you can use that cheap like plastic Wii gun accessory thing for. Looks terrible, to be honest. But he said he was looking to get $10 for Zelda and just $1 for Chicken Blaster. And I said, you know, if you give me Zelda on the guide and this game, I'll give you 10 bucks for everything, and I'll take it. And he said that was fine. So for $20, I got everything I just showed. You know, I knew that this game wasn't, you know, $10 for it wasn't a great deal. I mean, it's a $10 game, but something about passing up a Zelda game and a guide for $10, I couldn't do it. So $10, and I got Chicken Blaster as well. So maybe I'll try out Chicken Blaster. I actually did try out Twilight Princess, and you know, my first impression at the beginning of the game, I wasn't really impressed, but I've heard it's an okay game, so maybe I'll just gotta go a little farther in it, and I will enjoy it more. I don't know, but yeah, $20 for all that at that sale. You know, pretty much it made the trip worth it. I mean, I got some pretty cool stuff for a great deal, so that right there made the trip out there and waking up worth it. But on the way back to my house, there was a couple other sales going on in the area, and of course I didn't have them like mapped out or anything, so I didn't know where they are. I wasn't in my town, so I didn't really know how to navigate myself that well. But if I saw a sign for one with an arrow, I stopped at it and didn't find much. But at one of the sales I stopped at, it was just getting started. I was like the first person there, and it was mostly like little kid stuff. But I did find a Yahtzee. It's one of the 2002 ones, I think. And it's not in great shape. I mean, probably, I don't know if you guys can see, but the paint on the front of it's a little chip and stuff. But the screen looks good, and it does work perfectly fine. So I was happy to find this. The lady gave it to me for 50 cents too, so I always got to pick those up. But yeah, anyway, that was all I found at the garage sales on Friday, and because we didn't go out on Saturday since we weren't here, that's all we found at the garage sales for this weekend. The only thing I know that we might have missed out on was at one of the few garage sales that they were having on Saturday did say that they had a Wii and a Nintendo DS for sale. So that was kind of disappointing that we didn't get to go to that one, but then again, at least it wasn't, you know, selling my retro video game collection Saturday at 9 a.m. and we didn't get to go or anything like that. So we weren't too disappointed. We're excited to go out next weekend and everything. But like I said, Dave was downstate in Detroit for Warped Tour, so while he was down there, he did a little bit of video game hunting himself. And he went to one store, I think it was like exclusively a retro video game store, and he called me while he was there and was kind of telling me about the store and asked if I was looking for any particular games and anything, but he didn't actually end up buying anything from that store. He said it was all at least eBay prices. A lot of it was over eBay prices, and he was actually kind of complaining about the store. It was one of those stores that thinks it's a good idea to use game boxes, original game boxes, as display pieces and then just throw them out when they don't need them anymore. Like Dave said, he went up to the counter and he saw a bunch of game boxes behind the counter and asked the guy there if they were for sale, and the guy was like, "Oh no, those are just for display," and then we just, you know, throw them out. And Dave was like, well, I'll pay you for them. And he's like, no, it's against store policy. We can't give them away or sell them or anything. So he was just kind of mad and left. I probably would have done the same thing. It's, we've been in those stores before, and they're out there, and it's not fun going in there, from a collecting standpoint, but they are out there. So I guess you just got to deal with it sometimes. But anyway, when he was on his way back from Detroit, he actually kind of made a spontaneous stop. He saw a pawn shop that was going out of business. So they were just kind of looking to get rid of everything they had, and he walked in there and actually got a really, really good deal. He picked up 5 games, and he got them all for $15 total. And all these games I'm about to show are all $15 games themselves, some of them a little bit more. So it was definitely a great, great deal. I'll show this first one here is the one he picked up for himself, Mario Party 3 for the N64. And, I'm happy that he finally found this game. He's been looking for this game for a really long time. It's like a $25 game on eBay, I think, right now, and he's just never willing to pay that. So I'm glad he finally found this for a good deal. And he also picked up this, I think for just like trading purposes, because I think he already has it. But it's Pokemon White version for the DS. And no case or manual or anything, it's just the cartridge. But okay, now these are the 3 games he got for me here. 3 GameCube games here, and they're all pretty good titles, I'm not gonna lie. So I was really happy that he bought these for me, and I do owe him one, and I want to say thank you, Dave, for getting these for me. The first one here is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, and these 3 games he got for me here, they're all complete. The discs are in pretty good shape, so I'm really happy to have that one. He also got me Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, which I'd never really heard of before. I guess I knew it existed. I don't know how many other Pokemon games they made for the GameCube. I think they made Pokemon Coliseum. It's the other one I remember. There might be 1 or 2 more, I don't know. But yeah, that one's complete inside of there. Looks like more of an adventure game with Pokemon in it, so maybe I'll have to try this one out. And then this last one he got me, neither of us had ever heard of before, but I'm really glad he picked it up. It's Chibi Robo Plug-in 2 Adventure. Looks just kind of like a silly game that wouldn't be worth anything, but we checked this out on eBay, and it's actually like a $15 or $20 game, so he definitely made a good choice there. The only thing that was kind of bad was that he said that they had a bunch more games and stuff, but he literally only had $15 on him at the time, and of course the guy there wasn't going to take credit for any of the games or anything, so there was probably more that he would have bought, and he just didn't have the money on him at the time, which was unfortunate, but at least he probably grabbed 5 of the best games they had in there, and all that for $15. That was a stellar deal there. So thank you one more time, Dave, for the GameCube games. I definitely owe you one for that. And anyway, so that was all Dave got while he was on his little mini vacation, and that was all we got technically for the weekend, but we got together today, which is Monday, and went up to the Goodwill because we hadn't been there all weekend or anything, and actually found something pretty cool at the Goodwill. It's actually a system, and the weird part about this is it was actually bundled with the adapters, the controllers, and even a game. Go figure, because I know our Goodwill, and I know a lot of other Goodwills that I see people go to here on YouTube. When they get a system in, they'll take a system, they'll price it at $15. They'll take both controllers that came with it, $2.99, $3.99 a piece on those. They'll take the adapters, they'll put them in the adapter bin, try to get $3 a piece for those, and of course all the games go over with the other games, and who knows what they sell those for. But no, I found a system that was all bundled together. It was all rubber banded together with controllers, adapters, and even a game. So I'll show you guys what it is right now. Super Nintendo here, and it's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's yellow. It's definitely yellow, but it's not cracked or chipped or anything. So so that was cool to find that, and like I said, it came with 2 original controllers here, one of which is in better condition than the other. This one here, yeah, it's missing a screw out of the bottom, so it's a little loose down here. I'm thinking it probably should still work, otherwise I'll see if I can maybe fix it, but got those, and then the power adapter here, and the coaxial. Like I said, it even had a game in the system. It had Super Mario World in it. So I just couldn't believe, for one, this was actually all bundled together, and for 2, that they were only asking $12.99 for it. So I was all over that. $12.99 for that. That's an excellent deal there. So, rare occurrence at the Goodwill, but very happy to find that. And that was all we found at the Goodwill, actually. Maybe I'll go back up there tomorrow or something and see if they have any more games, because I figured, they might have some more games or something, but they didn't have any out, so I don't know. But After that, we stopped at the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, which we hadn't been to in a while either, and I found a PS2 Slim with just the AV cord here. It didn't have the power cord or a controller. It was marked for $10, which seems kind of high, but for some reason, these systems right here, PS2 Slim systems, will still sell online for $25, $30, even broken. You know, obviously I have no need for a broken PS2 system, so whenever I come across one, I just throw it up on eBay or something to try to get some of my money back, and they still sell for $25 or even, you know, $28, $30 broken. I have no idea why, but so you know, whenever I see a PS2 Slim, especially for $10, I always pick it up just because I know even if it's broken, it's still a good deal. And actually, I did test this one, and it works perfectly fine. So for $10, I thought that was a great deal. Plus, I got the AV cord with it. And I mean, I did test the Super Nintendo as well, and this works great as well. So I'm very happy about that deal there. And let's see, I believe that is all we picked up for this weekend, or well, this weekend plus Monday today. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for checking out the video, and until next time, take care.